All right, folks, thank you for tuning in to Hoop Talk, the podcast. We're in season 2. I've already lost count how many episodes we got. I want to say 14.
14.
14? Yep. Episode 14. If you're here for episode 14, hit that subscribe button. If you're new, if you're not, man, hit us in the comment section. Let us know that you're a faithful and loyal customer. I'm going to start calling y'all. All right?
We got some exciting products for you guys that we're going to share today.
Clients. Remember, Tyler,
very exciting
the difference
products.
between a client and a customer? You remember that? No? Good old days.
Oh, God. That was so corny.
Hit that subscribe button. Hit us in the comment section. Like, share, all that good stuff. Help us grow. I'll pick the first topic for today. This is something that I stumbled upon. It's been a trending topic. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see it or if it's been on your news feed or whatever. But there's some conversations being had around what does it mean to be the face of the league and who is currently the face of the league. So you guys answer both questions. Let's all start off with what does it mean to be the face of the league? What is that? How do you determine somebody is the face of the NBA?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, as an avid LeBron sexual, I've seen him hold the title as being face of the league and things like that. But when it comes down to being the face of the league, I think that fits in many different spaces with many different faces. So I think at one point Curry and LeBron were both the face of the league. You guys staying with me? But let me tell you what I think it means. I think the face of the league means the most marketable player, the player that people can relate to the most. Allen Iverson, Steph Curry's, the Chris Paul's. Well, Chris Paul was never the face of the league. Let me not do that. Allen Iverson, Steph Curry. When I think of face of the league, I think the most relatable player ever. The player, like, if I practice really hard, I could be like him. I think a lot of the time that kind of goes in hand with the face of the league. And then I think another face of the league are those demi-goblins. Those are the Victors, the Shaqs, the LeBrons, people that we can never be good at we can ever imitate no matter how much we practice, right? I think there's two different versions of the face of the league. Honestly, I think there's actually three now that I'm talking to myself. There's also the winner. There's the Kobe Bryants, the Anthony Edwards, those people who people just naturally gravitate to. I think there's a lot of different ways you can, evaluate the face of a league. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I don't know if you guys agree with me or not. It usually is the best player out of all the good players. That's how I view the face of the league, or the most marketable player out of all the good players. So, I mean, it just all depends. The face of the league right now, though, I don't think the face we have.
That's next.
Okay. Oh, wait. Go ahead.
All right. I'll go my criteria. It's similar to yours. To me, it's the best players commonly in the biggest markets, unless they transcend that. So, like, for example, LeBron in Cleveland, not a big market team, but he turned it into a big market because of how great he was. And I think that's what it is. I think it also will usually require you to have a cleaner record. You can't really have too much about you. So, for example, Kobe was the face of the league for most of the 2000s, but he had that little blemish with the whole Colorado situation where people viewed him differently. Once that was over with, people started putting him back at that face of the league, and then eventually they moved on to LeBron. I think it really does require you to be in a bigger market, though, usually. Kobe was the face of the league. I think Curry was the face of the league. Michael Jordan was the face of the league in Chicago, Kareem in L.A. Like, it's usually people in big markets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think marketability is the number one thing for sure. I think that's the easy guess. I think you have to have the the bite to back up your bark as well. So you got to have the numbers, you got to have the performance, you got to show that I'm the face of the league because I am the best player in this league. I think those are two criteria, but I would say I don't know if I would consider like someone like Allen Iverson the face of the league at any point in his career, but the only thing that I would add to it probably would be winning. I believe everybody who's been considered the face of the league was a winner. I don't think anybody who has been considered the face of the league wasn't at least a minimum 4-time champion. I don't think so, from off the top of my head. And that's a lot to ask. 4 championships is a lot, but look at all the people who we consider the face of the league: Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. I think Larry Bird only has 3, if I'm not mistaken, but close enough. Magic Johnson has 4. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 4. LeBron 4. Curry 4. Jordan 6. Kobe 5. You know what I mean? So like these guys, even Shaq, if you think he was the face of the league at some point, even if it was a very short period, 4 championships. I think winning, performance, and marketability are the 3 things that make the face of the league. That's so. I mean, pretty much just aligned with what you guys said.
Yeah. For the next part, what was the next question? Can I go first?
Yeah, you can go first. So who do you think currently is the face of the league? Or to make the question easier to answer, if for whatever reason you still believe Curry and LeBron deserve that title, which we can debate if you do, who do you think will be the next face of the league? Because I don't want to debate Curry and LeBron. So if you do believe they're the ones, who do you think
I still think it's LeBron. It's undoubtedly LeBron still. And now, because he's in LA, it's even more LeBron. I think that they tried to make it Ant, but unfortunately, Ant had like a bunch of baby mama drama, like some comments he made.
Still does.
Won. The team got blown up. Adidas, really tried their hardest, but I think that's falling off now, and I think that we can kind of agree we're not seeing him as much as we used to. I think that their next goal is Victor, but Victor doesn't talk that much. Victor's more introverted, and he's also not
He's
American.
not American.
Which I do unfortunately think is a big factor. I think that's why Jokic is not the face of the league. So I think that they're going to look for someone homegrown.
Jokic is not the face of the league because Jokic doesn't even want to be in the league. He wants to go race horses.
Well, that's a part of it too, yeah. This is a hot take. They've hyped this man up so much in college. I guarantee you that they're going to try to make him the face of the league. In high school too. Cooper is absolutely their next goal. I have no doubt about it.
Who do you think is the face of the league?
I think the face of the league is a conglomerate right now. I think the league is moving towards that. I don't think the league really wants a face of the league. I think they kind of want to do this how soccer teams are and how football teams are. They want to make teams the face of the league. But if I break it down, really, if we're going to have a conversation, I think at some point you can have nights where Curry's like the face of the league. You have nights where LeBron's still the face of the league. Shit, I mean, even though he doesn't want to be it because of all the scrutiny that comes with being under that microscope, that's not for the weak. That's not for the mentally weak. And I think this year, within all the technical fouls and shit, I think Anthony Edwards has disqualified himself as the face of the league because he's becoming a villain. He's becoming a villain within our eyes. I don't think we've noticed that yet. I do think there are 2 European players that do kind of can take that mantle at time to time. I think Luka does it at time to times. And I also think that the Greek Freak does it at times where he can kind of be the face of the league at points. I think the face of the league is something that they're juggling around right now. I don't think there's a definitive face of the league just yet because I don't think there's a talented player who's got – I mean, the only guy I can really think about is Jason Tatum, but he's got the same problem that a lot of these guys do. They don't have a personality.
He's got negative
They're all
aura.
they're just all boring people. They don't really – I mean, not boring people. They got millions of dollars. They're NBA players, but – they don't give us what we want to consume. They don't give us the one-liners LeBron gives us. They don't give us the one-liners Michael Jordan gives us, or I'm going to be back here. Like, the only player that does, sadly, is Anthony Edwards, and he's got to fix a lot of things before anybody wants their son to be like Anthony Edwards. And it's not that he's a bad person. It's just the decisions he's made. So, yeah, I think it's a conglomerate thing. I think it's everybody, like, holding the mantle at times.
He's kind of a bad person. I would argue that he's kind of a bad person. At least a little bit.
This depends where you're from and how your upbringing is. Sometimes that shit's normal, which is not normal. It's not normal to have that many baby mamas at that age.
Well, he is from Atlanta, so it is pretty normal. But I would say
there goes our viewers from Atlanta.
I would say, yeah, I do agree. I think the hoopla is strange. I think the trending topic spawned from Gil's Arena, where Gilbert Arenas was trying to petition for Jason Tatum being the current face of the league. Very sound logic. I do agree with what he was trying to say, and I do think it is a good argument to have that Jason Tatum is debatably the face of the league right now, or the upcoming face of the league. But just like you guys said, he just doesn't have the personality and charisma that you would want out of your face. Um, I would petition, and this is a strange one. This is a strange one. I would petition that the upcoming face of the league could debatably be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I would like to.
I agree with that.
For that. I think
That's my other thing
struggles.
because he's Canadian.
I think he will struggle because the league is always going to favor pushing an American player. But aside from that, Shai has the charisma. Shai has as they say, the aura, right? He has the most aura in the league, debatably, as they like to say. He has the numbers. Of course, he's not a winner yet, but he's young enough to make that happen. I believe Shai has the ability to transcend, as LeBron did, and turn OKC into a market that can give him a platform. I think Shai can give them a platform. Let me put it that way. Similar to how LeBron gave Cleveland a platform to blow up and to become a more marketable area. I think they have all the tools to do it. It's just a matter of, are we going to move on and accept that it is time to realize foreign players are the best players in the NBA right now. Simple as that. Foreign players are the best players in the NBA. The Jokic's, the Giannis's, the Lukas, the Shai's. They are the best players in the NBA. At their peak, those are the four best players in the NBA right now. I don't think there's a debate about that.
If Shai wins, I guarantee it'll be him. And the reason that it's possible is because, one, people are stupid and they don't differentiate America with Canada because he's from North America. He's still considered, an American. That's, I think, what people are going to say. And two, he did go to college here. He went to Kentucky.
Yeah. I also think I'm going to be a little even more like a little kid about it. I think his dressing, I think his vocabulary of how he talks, I think his whole, like you would say, like Tyler says, aura about him. He's not for our generation. He literally is for the generation, maybe 2 generations under us. And those are the people who are really watching.
That's my generation. I dress like Shai. I follow his fashion.
Tyler,
tips.
if I ever saw you some tight ass pants in person, I would slap your butt.
What do you think I'm wearing right now? You would what?
I would slap your butt and tell you to take those off, honey.
But this is taking a turn for the worse.
Regardless, no. What I'm trying to get at, his fashion, his style, like his makeup, who he is, how he presents himself, it really gives the young men nowadays, shout out to those really fashionable men. And he's kind of hitting that little Russell Westbrook kind of fashionista type thing that kind of gets the kids to watch him too. And he's, like I said, he's got that aura. He's already got something that he's building. So I'm not opposed to him being the face of the league. I'll take him over like a Joker or a Luka, where it's just not the same kind of vocabulary and speech. Because I think the face of the league is more of an American thing than it is a world thing. Can we all agree that? I think that's more of a North America thing. I think we're looking for our face of the league.
Yeah, because it's still an NBA league.
Yeah.
That's the issue. But I have a hot take. Another person I think that we should look out for, because I've noticed that they've been trying it, is Amin Thompson from the Rockets.
No,
he just doesn't have enough
talent yet,
he has been doing so much more interviews than he has done previously. I'm telling you, if he gets a shot, if he learns how to shoot 32%, within 5 years he's gonna be the face of the league.
At best, Kawhi Leonard. At best, Kawhi Leonard. At best.
No. I'm telling you, you think so, but he's actually in front of the Rockets right now. He is a centerpiece of that team. People stop talking about Sengun.
I agree with you.
Nobody talks about Jalen Green. He's already taken over that team, and they're propelled into spotlight.
That's a popularity thing, not he's the best player on the team thing. It's a popularity thing. People like him. People enjoy who Amin Thompson has become.
And how do you market the best? By people liking him.
Yeah, but
he's right.
People liking who they're seeing.
A player who is not guaranteed the best player on his team can never be the franchise. I mean, the face of the league. Nobody has ever been the face of the league and not the best player on their team.
Do you think he won't be in 5 years? I think
there's no,
without a doubt.
Ever that. The closest we ever got was Kobe, and Kobe played at a level that was astronomical. So I can't even count him. You know what I mean? But everybody else, they came into the league being the best player on their team.
You don't think that Amin Thompson's going to be the best player on that team in 5 years? In the next
I
5
think-
years?
yeah.
Not
I
even
think
5
he
years?
I don't-
can be,
I don't
but
see it
I
not
don't think
happening.
I don't think he's going to play at a level that creates face of the league. Like I do not believe that. I think he can be one of the best players in the league. I think he can be top 10. I think one day maybe he's even.
I think
good
he'd be a
enough to
first
top
NBA
5.
player.
I don't
Yeah.
think he'll be the best player in the NBA. I do not believe that ever.
I don't think the best player in the NBA has always been the face of the league, though. And this is a hot take, and I know you guys will probably disagree. For majority of the time that Kobe was the face of the league, I don't think that he was the best player. He overlapped with Tim Duncan. He overlapped with LeBron. He overlapped with Shaq. I think that there's an argument there that.
But
he was
Amin
never
Thompson's
the
not
best.
going to play at Kobe level. So he's not.
But why
his
not,
peak
though?
is not Kobe. If you think his peak is Kobe, then I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
I don't think his peak is Kobe because I don't think he's going to.
I think his
play
peak is
anywhere
Kawhi
near like
Leonard.
Kobe. I think his peak is a top 10, top 5 player in the NBA. I absolutely do believe that.
Yeah,
It's
top
crazy
10.
because
Top
when
10,
I
I'm
said
willing
this,
to-
I was crazy.
Top 10, I'm willing to believe 5 years down the line, but top 5 to me is not. I'm not ready for that now. He's not. I'm not ready to say that now.
I don't know.
way too soon.
To me, I know I've said it like 5 times already on this podcast, but I think I get Kawhi Leonard at best. At best. Which is not bad.
That's amazing.
That's a fucking good
and
player
he
to
talks
be.
way. Yeah, he
That's a
talks
fucking-
way more than Kawhi. He would, if he gets as good as Kawhi, he will be the face of the league. No doubt about that.
That's his ceiling, though. That's his ceiling.
I don't believe that.
That's
I don't believe
a
that
high
at all.
ceiling, bro. I don't think that's his ceiling at all.
I think Cooper Flag is more likely to take that role than him. I don't believe Amin Thompson will get pushed to that degree.
But to give you an idea, since the All-Star break, he's averaging 17 points, 9 rebounds a game, 5 assists. I think that he continues it, and his shooting's even better. He's almost to 30% now.
Being the face of the
Since
league is not
All-Star
just
break.
about how good of a player you are. There's so many things that go around it. Like I don't picture Amin Thompson to that degree. Face of the league is like you are our market. The majority of our money comes from who your name is.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm saying
don't
all of
believe
that.
I don't believe Amin
I think
Thompson has
it's
that
very
potential
possible.
at all. I'll never be able to see that. Never. In 3 years, he could change my mind, but today, there's nothing he's showing me that I could believe that. There's nothing.
Put it in your notes. Put it in your calendar right now, 3 years from now, to check back with me.
In 3 years, he can change my mind.
Was,
What he does in 3 years can change my mind. What he's doing this year cannot. I can, based
I
on
agree.
this year,
I'm
I don't see
projecting,
him.
though.
Oh no, I can't.
I'm projecting that he turns into that.
I-
But that's
I-
what we're doing, though. That's what we're doing with Cooper Flag, too. We're projecting.
No, I don't think he's gonna be the face of the league. That was y'all. I never said that.
Oh.
That was
yeah,
y'all.
I don't.
I was saying I
never
think
said that
Cooper Flag has a bigger chance than him. That's what I was saying. But I don't think he's going to be the face of the league. Maybe when he comes into the league, if he goes bananas, who knows? But if he's going to end up in Washington or Charlotte, I don't think so.
Or Utah.
Or Utah, yeah. I mean, he is white. He might like the Mormons. But other than that,
Man.
let's move on to the next topic.
Damn. There goes our Utah fan base.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. See y'all next time.
Vernon Maxwell told me that they didn't even have internet out there, so I'm fine.
What do
I
y'all
would
think
love
about?
to go to Utah?
Okay, first time I ever heard that. What do you guys think about Detroit Pistons, man? Talk to me. What is your thought process about the lesser Thompson twin and his gang of youthful exuberance?
He's also
I like
amazing. That team
I love
would
it.
be even better right now if Jaden Ivey doesn't get injured. That's the crazy part. And they're already really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My favorite
if-
thing about them. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you told me 12 months ago that the Detroit Pistons were going to be 7 games over 500 and 5 games ahead of the 7th seed, which makes them the 6th, 5 games ahead of the 7th seed, what did I just say? 7
With their
games
best player
over
injured.
500.
Or second best player. Not
Whoa.
their best, sorry.
Okay, I was
Whoa,
like,
yeah,
second
Big
best
Dom
player.
was about to be
I was
like,
like,
whoa.
what? What are we doing here? Okay,
Is it
good.
crack,
Thank you.
Tyler?
Thank
Is
you
it
for the
crack that you're
correction.
smoking?
I was so confused. I didn't even know how to respond in time. I was like, "What did you just say?"
My bad. But their second best player,
Yeah.
their other budding star injured this whole time.
Yeah, for sure. It's been phenomenal. I forget who their coach is, but he deserves so much
JB
praise.
Bickerstaff.
JB Bickerstaff,
Bickerstaff.
who's been a traveling coach. He ends up being a head coach whenever somebody just needs one and can't find one. Good for him. He's finally found his niche. I don't remember him having like crazy successful seasons anywhere else. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He did last season with the Cavs.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess not the same. I would say, but I get it. Yeah, I understand. That was a good roster, so I think a lot of coaches probably would have had a similar season with that roster. Don't you think?
Not Darvin Ham. I can tell you that.
Whoa, you
Well,
read
yeah,
my
but
Not Doc
mind,
Rivers.
Tyler.
that's we're
Tyler,
looking
you
at the
read my
bottom of the barrel
fucking
now. That's not
mind.
fair. But either way,
Not Doc
Darvin
Rivers.
Ham.
not to digress, man. Shout out to JB Bickerstaff. He's been in the league for a long time. He's been a traveling coach. He's the Ish Smith of coaches. If you think about it, he's the Ish Smith of coaches.
Man,
He played. He really is. Look at his
not
resume.
that comp.
We could
He's
say that for
coached
now,
everywhere.
but Ish Smith is going to be the Ish Smith of coaches soon too. I feel it.
But I didn't have a lot to say about them, man. I just love what they're doing. I admire it. Cade Cunningham is a phenomenal player, and I think he's going to be a top 10, top 5 player when he comes to his peak. But and this is, I don't know how to word this without sounding like I'm bashing him, but like, I would have never expected, and I still don't believe that Cade Cunningham is a transcend a team type of player yet. Do you guys agree? I don't think he's that type
I
of
For like
player
face
yet.
of the league.
I think.
No, like
Hold on.
transcend a team. Like you know how like Steve Nash enters a team, completely changes the dynamic. Chris
Yeah.
Paul comes to a team, completely changes the dynamic. I don't think Cade Cunningham is that good of a player yet, right? Do we
No,
agree?
he's not a playmaker. Cade Cunningham is absolutely not a playmaker.
He's a
a
walking
ball
bucket.
handler and a passer,
Right.
but he is
So,
not a playmaker.
so we agree. He's not the type of player yet that would be expected to make this much of a difference, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Do you guys agree?
Yeah,
I,
I
well,
agree.
So
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I don't think he is the one that made the difference though.
that's the part that I think is crazy, and that's what I was trying to get to. Is like I think it's amazing what they've put together as a unit because no matter how much I praise Kate Cunningham for the difference that he makes, which he of course does, that's not it, bro. They did so much to make this work overnight, like from one season to the next, one training camp, and that's it. And they're not going to win a championship, you know what I mean? But listen, Detroit versus the Knicks, that series is going 5 or 6 games. I think that series
I
can go
think it
five
might
or
be
six
7, to
games.
be honest.
I
I think
don't know
it'll go
about
7.
that, but that series can go five.
I'll
or
say
six games.
5. I'll say 5. I'll say 5.
Five
They got
comfortably,
Tobias
but
You
Harris.
guys are
they
sleep
can
on
have a
Detroit.
good game and take them to 6. They can have a good game and
Oh,
take them to 6.
Nas, they got Tobias Harris getting major minutes.
Tobias
I don't
Harris
know.
is better than Paul George. Shit.
That's not what I'm arguing though. I'm not going to bet on the team that has Tobias Harris ever.
No, I feel you.
So,
I'm just
real
exaggerating to prove my point. But man, shout out to them. Go ahead.
I wanted to say,
For no
like, first, shout out to Isaiah Stewart for bringing back Bad Boy Pistons. Let's start there. I
Yep.
think he
Deep
brings
Stu.
back a lot of backbone. I think a lot of teams think twice about falling hard. I think a lot of teams think twice about doing anything physical. It's just like James
I know
Johnson on
LeBron
the
does.
Pacers. LeBron don't care about nothing. We all know that.
LeBron had that man
But
bleeding, and Isaiah Stewart was chasing him.
and LeBron hit him on purpose. That's the thing. If
No,
you
I
watch
don't think
the
so.
video,
No,
I don't
No.
agree. No, I don't think so.
LeBron would never have hit that man on purpose. I'm telling you right now.
That was an
Isaiah Stewart is
accident.
scary.
That was an accident.
anyways, regardless of that, I think also what the Pistons did, they went and got vets without mortgaging a lot of their money and cap. So a lot of these contracts are going to be over in 1 to 2 years when it's time to go get new players to fit them. And Cade has grown into his own. I think Detroit, as a unit, they've actually matured between the coaching, saying no more hoods in practice or before the game. I think it was a maturity step that they took that led them to becoming better basketball decision makers. I think Cade Cunningham is obviously having a lot of um, good things happening with having someone like Tobias Harris who's been there, Tim Hardaway, Malik Beasley off the bench. These are veteran presence who've been in big games, who've won big games and gotten themselves in big situations. So when you look at players like that, I didn't think that they'd be better than Philadelphia this year. I think if we would all go back, we would still pick Philly. So the fact that they're playing this good and they kind of still have that Detroit brand of basketball, that grit and grind, that we're here, we're not gonna lose, like just that toughness, that blue collar. I haven't seen that in a team in a long time. I would say the Pacers kind of had that last year, but it was a little bit more on the higher end of blue collar than it is this team. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think I'm enjoying watching players come into their own. I think Cade Cunningham is making a name for himself. I think he's becoming a leader, and that's a big thing.
Bro, in the summer of last year, if you would have told me Paul George was going to be out for the season and Embiid's only going to play 45 games, I'm still picking the Sixers over the Pistons. I still would have
flipped
bet.
their seeding.
I still would have bet that the Sixers would be a higher seed. I still would have, and the Pistons would have proved me damn wrong. And I'm proud of them for it. Shit.
Yeah, if you would have told me
one big thing.
Cade Cunningham's having a better season than Tyrese this year, I would have been like, nah, there's no way.
Oh, I don't know about that because Tyrese
don't
had
know.
the hamstring injury.
Yeah, I'm not a very big believer in
Oh,
Tyrese Halliburton.
if we did
so
Paul
I
George
don't
with the
think so.
injuries, we got to do everybody with the injuries, guys. I don't
But
care.
no, Tyrese had it last year. He had it like towards the end of the year. Remember, he missed a few playoff games.
What I'm saying is I would not be shocked that Cade would have a better season than Tyrese. That's what I'm saying. I would not be shocked at all.
Yeah, he
One
is
thing-
having a better season than him.
The real reason, though, that this changed was JB Bickerstaff. Monty Williams is not a good coach. Monty
He's
Williams
not at all.
was only a good coach for the Suns when they still had Chris Paul. As
Chris
soon
Paul
as
was the
Chris Paul
coach.
goes, we see a season with Monty Williams where they do bad and they fire him and they pick up Bud. Monty Williams is just not good. And I think that was a big difference. They had JB Bickerstaff, who is a good coach. He's not a great coach. I think he's worse than Kenny Atkinson for the Cavs right now. But like that changed everything. It changed the culture of the team. It bought in. You know, people are playing better. We're seeing them actually play
Reds
defense,
came
which
and
we were not
played.
last season. Malik Beasley looks like a consistent player, which is
He looks like the sixth man of
crazy
the
for
year.
Malik Beasley. I don't think he can win anymore because of Jaden Ivey getting injured. Because he's been
Yeah.
starting more games now.
Shout out the new bad boys,
Yeah.
man. I'm here for it. The NBA's better when Detroit's good. I believe that. There's certain teams that the NBA's better when those teams are good. Detroit.
It's like the
Knicks,
legacy teams.
Yeah, Minnesota. When those teams are good, it's good NBA. I think this year basketball has been pretty good. Like it's been a good year of basketball. I think like
Since
the games.
Since
competitiveness.
January 11th, Malik Beasley has only started 3 games.
Wow. Yes,
But he started
well, I mean,
14 all season.
I'm not gonna lie,
But I'm
Peyton
saying he
dropped a
hasn't
40
been
ball
starting a lot
yesterday.
at all.
Oh.
Yeah,
Who is
and
starting
Peyton
in his
Pritchard
place
dropped
then?
a 40 ball.
No clue. We'll find
I'm
out
going
for
to
you.
check
Though.
right now. I'll tell you. I got it.
I think it's Tim Hardaway.
I think he starts at the 3.
I don't even think he's on that team. I think it's Ron Holland, probably.
Not on
No,
that
Tim
team.
Hardaway's
Yes,
on
he
that
is.
team.
What do you mean?
Tim Hardaway Jr. Yeah, he is.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that I'm not even going to lie. I forgot that he's on the team. Not even going to lie to you. Forgot about him. He's an
Yeah.
afterthought in my life.
And Jalen Durant has not had a bad season this year. It's been kind of quiet for a contract year, but he's been pretty consistent.
He's one of the worst defensive centers in the league.
Yeah, isn't that his
Like,
niche
genuinely.
to be a good defender?
No, he's a scorer.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
like a. I don't know how to explain it. He's like that. He's like a big body, like a post up, rim running type of guy.
He's a better version of Jahlil Okafor. He's what Jahlil Okafor
Yeah.
should have been.
Yeah, but Jahlil Okafor wasn't bad in the league.
He wasn't. He was too outdated for the league. That was his
Yeah,
problem.
He was bad in the time frame that he was in, but if you put him 10, 15 years earlier, he's pretty good. He's like a
I think
Greg
you could
Monroe.
drop him on a team and he could give you like 10 to 12 buckets though. In this type
I
of
agree,
league.
you're just not
He's
winning.
Not a big man.
I agree.
Yeah. No, off the bench. Like a team like the Warriors could use him.
12
Like, just
buckets
coming
off the bench
Yeah.
for Jimmy Okafor? Golly.
Yeah.
12 buckets?
12
12
12
points?
buckets is like 24 points.
Or 12 field goals made. What do you mean?
No. 12
12 field
points.
goals made is also a lot.
12
Yeah, 12
points
field goals
is
made
a
is a
lot.
lot.
For Jahlil Okafor
Just
off the
12
bench
points.
right now? I don't know what team would give him that many touches.
He's on the
For
Madden right
Jahlil
now.
Okafor,
Is he though? Like, is he actually?
He's back in the what's it called, the G League.
exactly.
Exactly. So he's not.
If you have Jahlil Okafor taking more than 3 shots a game, your team is going to be bad.
He's played 1 game for Indiana and he scored 0 points.
But he did get a rebound and an assist. That's pretty efficient.
I
But
feel
man,
bad for him.
shout out to the Pistons though. Great team, man. Kate Cunningham just had 37, 7 and 10. Came up short. Adding Dennis Schroeder was a great idea for them. He just solidifies more of what they need to continue to build and grow as a team. Now they have somebody for Cunningham to learn from and to develop with. Schroeder, to me, always a very serviceable player. I've never in my life considered Schroeder a bad player. I think he's been serviceable on every single team he's ever been on. Great, phenomenal player at Atlanta. I loved him with Dwight back in those days. Not the best team, but, nice to have.
He plays soccer. He played like a professional soccer game.
Yeah, I believe that. He's a World Cup gold medalist. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
But what was the next topic? Let me put up the list here. Moving on.
I have one that we could talk about. Jaren Jackson Jr.
That was my next topic. Before you get into your spiel, this was something that I was adding to the list a long time ago, but it just kept getting pushed and pushed. I saw this article that I thought was pretty interesting, how the injuries to Anthony Davis and Victor Wembanyama is going to put the Memphis Grizzlies in a very uncomfortable position because I don't know if he's the favorite, but he is definitely up there for consideration. I know that for a fact. And if Jaren Jackson were to win Defensive Player of the Year, the Memphis Grizzlies are going to have to owe him a bit over $100 million more than they would have owed him before because of his max contract eligibility would increase to the Supermax, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, they're paying him no matter what, though. No matter what happens, they're paying him.
But I don't think he's eligible for 300-something million without that award. That's what the article
He's
said.
winning the award.
That's what the article
He's winning the
said.
award based off the merit of the other two players who would have won it aren't playing enough. We could say that. I don't think. I mean, do you guys have another player who could possibly steal it from him?
I would have to think off the top of my head.
Thompson. I'm not even kidding. Amin Thompson and Evan Mobley are right there.
Evan Mobley, yeah, I don't think Amin Thompson would get it. He might finish in top 3. But you know how these voters are. They don't care for wing defenders as much as they should, in my opinion. But Evan Mobley is probably the closest.
And what's the separation between Evan Mobley and him?
I would say just
the
team
betting
defense.
odds are very close.
I'd say just team defense. I think whoever has the better defensive team will get it. I think that's how the voters will look at it.
It's definitely not Memphis.
I don't know, actually, but let's find out.
So really quick while you do that, one other caveat to that, Nas, though, the difference is they don't actually owe him $100, $100 million more. He would be able to sign one extra year. So it's realistically like $40 million.
Which is like a 5 for 40?
Noticeable.
But either way, the point of it is
he's getting a $345 million deal.
I think it adds fuel to the fire with the media already trying to plug in this narrative of John Morant. Now we got Jaren Jackson having to be owed more money. All of that put together, do we think Memphis is a team, a core that can last, or do you think this is all just media being annoying?
No, this is where I can actually talk about it now. I think the Grizzlies are in a position where they really need to figure out, before they do these contracts, what is their plan. Ja is not working out. Ja has notoriously been injured throughout his entire career. He has not played a single season of 70 games ever. He has played only one season over 65. And usually he's teetering around that 60 games mark, which for someone who is only 25, that is worrying. I would think so. I don't know about you guys. Along with all the other issues where he's just getting suspended from doing really dumb things. And now he did another dumb thing where he aggravated his shoulder. I don't know if moving forward with him is a good idea. Along with that, Jaren Jackson Jr. has also dealt with a ton of injuries. He has been injured almost every season so far. Do we think that the Grizzlies can...
Real quick, a meme where it's like if Ja's not playing, Jaren's not playing. It's like
earlier in their career, it was like that. It was genuinely like that. So it's like, I don't know. What do you really do in that situation? You have a fantastic, tweener in a center and power forward with Jaren Jackson Jr., who matches Ja's timeline. You're going to have to extend Jaren Jackson Jr. fully now because he turned down the extension. Ja is not playing again. He's most likely going to be out for some significant time. And Desmond Bane is not what we thought he was going to be either. Like, what is the plan with that team?
I think as a GM, you don't have options. I don't think you do. It's not time to talk about trades. I don't believe that. As a GM, I think he has the hardest job in the league right now. It's like, what do we do? How much longer do we go? And it's like, can you make a move right now? I don't think you can. I really don't think you can. It's going to be really tough to make that decision.
What is that move anyway?
That's the thing. That's my point. That's exactly it. Like, what is the move? Like, if there's a move to make, what is the move? I think you just continue to run it back because look, the Grizzlies are consistently good. The Grizzlies are consistently good. They are consistently a playoff team. They just can't stay healthy enough to go into the playoffs and make a run. So with the talent that you have to just keep it going. You have to just keep it pushing until until we reach the brink of no turning back, and that's unfortunate. But as a GM, you kind of just have to. You can't.
Especially for like a small market team like that. That's all they can really do. They've done it before with Zach and Marc Gasol and Mike Conley. You just gotta run it back and hope you have one of those crazy ass Dallas Maverick seasons where, your best player is the best player in the playoffs. Like, I agree with you on that, Nas, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's not even a bad example. That is literally what they have to do. They just have to continue to run it back and see if we can make something happen. It's like sometimes you're just playing to boost up the revenue. Sometimes that's just what you got to do. If we're gonna keep going to the playoffs, let's try to make a deep payoff run once or twice, get that extra revenue from the extra ticket sales, and build something off of it. But sometimes you're gonna have to make up your mind as a GM and say, this is not a winning team. It's as simple as that.
And you know what's scary about that? If Jaren Jackson Jr. turns down the extension that they're going to be talking about next year, because maybe they don't offer the full one, he's a free agent, unrestricted. You just lose him.
Yeah, it's a tough decision to be in. You got to pay him. No other choice. You got to pay him. You got to hope he plays his ass off, because if one day you decide it's not working out, that's a big chunk of money that you're going to have to trade. So you better hope he plays his ass off throughout that entire contract. You know what I mean?
With little injuries.
And we've all seen it. We've seen players get big money and disappear. We've all seen it.
Yeah.
And Jaren Jackson is a phenomenal player. I think very highly of him. I love his effort on the defensive end. I love his versatility. Hate the fact that he can't rebound for shit. But other than that, I love the player who he is. But that does not exclude him from fitting that mold of, I got my money, now I'm just going to relax. Now I'm just going to coast. And it's a complete possibility.
Yeah.
Not saying that's my prediction. I'm just saying it is a possibility.
It's a big possibility. Huge.
If this was me on my GM, I'm trading everybody. But this isn't me on my GM, so I can't really do that. So the realistic thing has to be,
they're like number 4 seed in the West. You're just gonna ship everybody
gone. Everybody's gone. Wrap this shit up. Not playing. But realistically, though, like, all jokes set aside, I do think you got to get rid of Ja. I think Ja's a little too injury prone. I said this a couple podcasts ago. You guys were looking at me like I was crazy, but you're kind of looked at crazy when you start something new before everybody else does. Same thing with the Thompson. I claim that Thompson's could be a top 5 player.
I'm gonna rewatch that episode.
Tyler's now saying he could be a top 5 player, and I'm arguing with you guys about that. But regardless, I think that Ja needs a new beginning, and I think the Memphis could use Trae Young. I say it again. I don't think Trae Young's a bad player to add to that team. It adds something that they need, which is shooting and a facilitator. I don't think it's a bad piece. I know you're not for it, Nas. You're just not it. You're not for it. But that's the offensive boost they probably need, and the kind of player they need with spacing with him and Jaren Jackson. It doesn't have to be Trae Young, but it has to be like a mold of like that, someone who can be that. But Ja has to go, and I think it's better for him and Memphis. And then to kind of talk about Jaren Jackson, I think it depends on how Memphis feels about him. Do they feel like he could be their big man of the future because they've had good big men. They've had Marc Gasol. They've
They
had Zach
shouldn't.
Randolph. They, he doesn't fit that mold. So
He should
I
be their
think
4,
that,
not a 5. That's the issue.
yeah, and I mean, it kind of goes back to the statement I made. I think you either pay these guys or you trade these guys. You do not lose them for nothing, though. That you develop these guys. You made them to. You have to get something bad. And if it's a quick rebuild, and now you're now in the discussion of trying to trade for the first seed for Ja or for whoever, or the first pick for Ja, whoever it is, I think it has to be done, bro. I don't think Memphis, that team is built to win. I think that team is built for watching other teams get hurt or players get in trouble. I think they're one of those teams that everything has to go the right way for them to win a championship. And I don't think they're in that position right now for everything. There's too many great teams right now for that to happen. Too many teams that are way better than them.
And I think
Their
a
timeline matches up
situation,
almost exactly with the Celtics.
a
That's the other
situation,
issue.
a situation like that has only occurred maybe once in the last 30, 40 years, and that was the Raptors. And I don't think any other championship team didn't earn that title from beginning to end. You know what I mean? Not to say they didn't. That's not what I'm trying to say. But we all know. We know the Warriors, they got injured.
The Raptors were a
we
sleeper
know.
team.
You know what I mean? We know that they got injured, and the likelihood of them winning that series with the healthy Warriors is unlikely. So like to try to hope that you get that same situation, it's like the Raptors had Kawhi Leonard, who, in my perspective, at his peak is a top 3 player in the NBA. You know what I mean? At his peak. John Morant, at his peak, is not a top 3 point guard in the NBA. I don't believe. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
It's
I don't think he's top 5.
Yeah, you could debate that. You could debate he's not even a top 5 point guard. And notice how I'm talking about his position. I'm talking about Kawhi
what
Leonard.
sucks, it doesn't have anything to do with his talent. It has everything to do with him not being on the court. Literally, just him not playing. Like, it's not that.
No, his talent too.
Last year, in the beginning of the year, John Morant was in consideration of being the face of the NBA. His shoes sold out. He checked every box. He just
last
couldn't
year
stay
was
out
when
of
he
last
had
season?
his gun issues.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it was not last year.
It was 2
the
years
year before
ago.
that.
2 to 3
Yeah,
Two
2
years
years
ago,
ago. I'm
maybe,
sorry. Yeah, but at one point we could all agree John Morant was going to be the face of the league, or was on his way of being that. He had the
And ever
shoes
since
selling
that
out.
moment, it went downhill.
Yeah,
Ever
went
since
downhill
that
from there.
strip club picture of him in the strip club with all those dollar bills, that it just went downhill from there.
I don't think he'll ever be the face of the league. Also, because he's not a shooter, and I think as a point guard, or not the face of the league. I don't know why I said that. I don't think he'll be a top 5 point guard because as a point guard, you do need to shoot, and he does not shoot. He's a terrible shooter.
I'm gonna give you guys my first team NBA. Don't do it. I'm gonna go with John Morant and Anthony Edwards. That would be my backcourt. That is a toxic backcourt.
Well, listen, speaking of point guards that can't carry a team, y'all heard about Kyrie
And
Irving.
James Harden.
Kyrie Irving is out for the season.
That might be his last game ever.
I think he'll come back. Crossing my fingers, he has a healthy recovery. But what was it, ACL or Achilles? I forgot. ACL. Yeah, tough
Which
for
is
him.
easier to come back nowadays.
Yeah,
Way easier to come back
I
from.
don't have a lot to say, but crossing my fingers that it works out. Rumor has it Anthony Davis and Rich Paul are considering asking the Mavericks to shut him down for the season so he can prepare for next season now that Kyrie is out.
I agree.
I do believe that is the right move to make.
Me too.
The Mavs probably going to hate those conversations, and they're probably going to yell back and forth until they figure it out. But the Mavs have to realize that is the right decision to make. I made a joke about it to start this segment, but I don't believe Kyrie Irving is the type to lead you to a championship. However, I am very fascinated by this dynamic of Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis. I'm very fascinated by it. I would love to see what that looks like in the playoffs. And if they
with
have
Klay
to
Thompson.
With Klay Thompson as well. I'm very fascinated. I'm not a Kyrie guy. Tyler's known me for years. He knows that for a fact. I'm not a Kyrie guy. But
he's the only Duke guy that he doesn't claim.
Literally the only Duke player that I'm not willing to claim, but we won't get into that.
Probably the best Duke player in the last 10 years too.
That's not true. But
I think Jason Tatum's better than him.
Yeah, Jason Tatum, Zion, like so many others, but it's
Zion's
okay.
not better than
Oh no,
Kyrie Irving, but it's okay.
In Duke, I'm talking about in Duke.
And Duke. Okay,
oh
okay, okay.
But either way, now I lost my train of thought. My point is, I'm very fascinated. I'm very fascinated by that duo. I'm not willing to say anything. I'm not. I don't think they're. I'm not saying they're going to win a championship. I'm not saying they're going to make a deep playoff run. All I'm saying is I'm fascinated by it. Something about that duo sparks interest in me. I would love to see how it works out. I would love to see them in a deep playoff run. I'm very curious to see if Kyrie Irving can turn it on like the Cleveland days. If Anthony Davis can turn it on like he has in the last few playoff appearances with the Lakers and his first playoff appearance when they won a championship, if they can be those players, that's a tough team to beat. And now with this new injury,
that's a
of
team I would
course,
not want to go against.
now
Yeah,
with
like
this new injury, it is not as likely that Kyrie can ever reach that level of performance. But crossing my fingers, healthy recovery, I would love to see that. I think that is a scary team and a very difficult team to beat. Anthony Davis at the 4 is one of the scariest players in the NBA.
for sure. Kind of like to go with Nas. It is a very interesting thing when it comes to personality fits because you got PJ Washington, you got Kyrie Irving. It's a lot of different personalities that really meshed well together in Dallas, and AD kind of has that, and Madonna kind of pre-Madonna like you know vibe. He's got that LeBron vibe now, where he's always just you can tell that like, oh yeah, he's got the best seats. Like his seats are a little bit more comfortable than my seats. If you get what I'm saying when it comes to like sitting on the bench or something, or his cushion might be a little bit more expensive. He's a little bit gotten a little prima donna to me. That's my take. Even when he was on the Lakers, I think he just the word is bitch, but I don't want to say that. I think he cried too much. Um, he's got that LeBron in him now, which
The
is
word is
awesome.
bitch, but I don't want to say it. What the
Pluto, where are you going with this? I'm so confused.
Where I'm going with this is that I think Dallas, regardless of the personalities, I think it's a good makeup of a team. And then kind of like to go with Nas, I play 2K a lot. So on 2K, is Tyler still with us?
He'll probably join us back in a second.
So on 2K, doing these simulations, because they're the closest thing we're going to get to an actual simulation. Every year I do the simulation for you when the like Dallas is healthy and stuff, they win the chip. Every year, the first year they win the chip. So like on simulations, they're a great team. I would love to see it together. That one game, that one half we got with them together was some great basketball. So I'm not against it. I just hope the personalities mesh. That's my thing.
I think it'll be interesting. Kyrie is actually very good at throwing lobs as well, and he has
Yeah, he
three
is.
lob threats on that. He has 4 lob threats on that team. I forgot about AD. I don't know how I forgot about
They're
it.
both LeBron disciples.
Wait, who was
If
the
you
other?
think about it.
Who was the other 3?
Gafford, Lively, Washington, and
Washington.
and
Yeah,
AD.
yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
So like that, bro. That team has that team has some of the most elite role players in the game right now.
Hardy's nice. Hardy's a pretty good player. DJ Hardy
Christie
and
is a really good part of that trade. That's going to be underrated. I think.
Marshall's also a pretty decent player too for their team. He's very
Yep.
competitive.
Najee, yep.
Yeah,
Very,
That
very
team's
good.
going to be
like,
tough, bro.
yeah,
It's gonna be tough.
They are.
The role players will help compensate for what Kyrie and AD are not gonna bring to the table because they've notoriously been known for not being able to be the best player on a team successfully. They need that LeBron type of guy. I think having these type of role players would help them mitigate that aspect that they're missing. And I'm really interested.
What's-
I'm really interested to see.
What's crazy about all this
What
is that
happened?
the only players that they both have won with is only LeBron. They've never won with other teams or anything. So it's like LeBron's children are playing together now. So it's awesome, for sure, for
Damn.
sure.
What happens if they
I wouldn't
win?
say it that way. Golly.
LeBron's kids.
Goodness gracious.
What happens if they win though? Like what do
Win a
people say
championship?
now? Yeah.
I don't know.
Listen, Nico's gonna get fired this summer. They're gonna win a championship next year, and they're gonna have to rehire him. They have no choice. They're gonna have to rehire him.
Because if they
'Cause, like,
fire
bro,
him
Luka's-
and they win, it's crazy.
Luka's great, but is there a guarantee that Luka ever would have won a championship on the Mavericks?
Not a guarantee, but we have to admit the likelihood, was definitely high.
Yeah,
It was there, but it's a small market team. You know, the Mavericks have a hard time signing people. Clay has been their biggest signing ever. I don't know. I don't know if they win.
You take Clay
I
signing
think it
over the
was
Kyrie
possible.
signing?
I think it was possible.
I thought they traded for Kyrie.
Yeah, they did, but they had to re-sign him the next year. He was a free agent. Remember, he was trying to go
He
to
was
the
already on the
Suns.
team, though.
Yeah, he was already.
No,
on the
he was
team.
a free agent. He left the team. He was a free agent.
No,
They re-signed.
but he was on the team. He returned to the
Do you
team. He
count-
was just on. It doesn't count.
Where the Cavs,
Technically speaking, he opted out and was a free agent.
That was just to get more money. That doesn't count.
His rookie extension, was that the best signing they've ever done?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. He's still signed.
Golly. But I'm excited to see what they have to offer, man. Hopefully, like I said, I'll say one last time, cross my fingers for a healthy recovery for Kyrie. I have one last thing for us today that you guys have not had a chance to look at. There has been talks about the NBA. The fan base have been giving the NBA suggestions to add a 1v1 tournament to the NBA. So I took it upon myself.
Because of Unrivaled. It came from Unrivaled.
Yeah, so I took it upon myself to create a 1v1 bracket. And we're actually going to do it differently than there's no actual rumors that they're going to do it. But I would assume they're not going to do it this way that I'm about to show you guys because it's a little bit more than it should be. But we're just going to vote. We're just going to vote. We need 2 votes to have the player advance. Simple as that. Now, the way that I set it up, though, is I selected players that fit a 1v1 environment. I didn't go for players like a Jokic, for example. Obviously, he's the best player on his team, so you might think he should be the one representing his team, but he doesn't fit a 1v1 environment. Can we agree on that?
More the ISO players, like Brandon
like
Ingram fits this, like Kyrie fits this, like
KD.
things like that.
Yeah, like I didn't put any type
Devin
of
Booker.
big men and stuff like that. I primarily only put guys who fit a 1v1 environment. Now, because I don't want to go through the whole scheme of us deciding who should be in the tournament, I thought, to make it simple and straightforward, the top 8 seeds, simple as that. And I picked a player from every seed. Now, if you guys want to change one of these players, we can go ahead and go through that. I'm going to put it up on the screen for our viewers to be able to see.
You're going to have to read the names for me. Just a heads up, I cannot see this. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to. Is Orlando here? I saw him walk away.
He walked away, but I can tell you for sure, I can't see this. If I think Cade Cunningham could be switched for Brandon Ingram off the top.
No, I did by seeding. So I did the top 8 seeds, similar to playoffs.
No, I know. But remember, you said we could switch it. I don't think.
Oh no, I meant switch.
Yeah, I guess.
I meant switch from that team. I didn't mean switch.
I can't read that
overall
shit.
player. I'm gonna read it.
Tim
I was
Hardaway
waiting for you to
Jr.
come back.
All right,
Actually,
sorry.
I'll wait.
So the way I set it up was we're going to have an Eastern bracket and a Western bracket, and I did the top 8 teams, similar to the old school playoffs. Now we have the play-in and all stuff, but to avoid all that extra talking, I removed that from the equation, and I just did the top 8 teams. So we have Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Bucks, Pacers, Pistons, Heat, and Magic are the top 8 teams in the Eastern Conference. We have Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brunson, Damian Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton, which I believe can be substituted if you guys think he should be. I wasn't sure.
For Pascal Siakam.
No, I have a really hot take in TJ McConnell.
Kate
my
Cunningham, Tyler Hero, and Paolo Banchero were the people who I chose for this. The only one I believe we can substitute is Tyrese Halliburton. Do you guys think Benedict Mathurin makes more sense?
I think Pascal does.
I don't. I don't think he fits the one-on-one environment.
For a one-on-one. He's not an ISO guy. I think Cade Cunningham genuinely, and I hate to say this, but if we're talking about people playing in a one-on-one situation, I think Cade could be switched for Tim Hardaway Jr. I really do believe so.
I'm not taking a specialist.
No, it's not. Remember, we're not talking about who's a better player. We're talking about in a one-on-one ISO situation.
I like Cade.
Where Cade Cunningham does not
like
ISO
Cade.
a whole lot.
Yeah, I like Cade.
Cade Cunningham doesn't even ISO a lot. He has some of the lowest ISO numbers.
Yeah, but he's just a shifty player in general. He has a great mid range. He has a great offensive game.
All right.
So we're keeping
He
Halliburton.
can lose every matchup he's in.
What'd you say? Hello?
I don't think he said anything.
No, thumbs up. I'm cool with Cade Cunningham.
I thought you just said something, Tyler. Um,
Yeah, Tyler did say something.
yeah, he did, right? All right. Either way.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start with this first, and then I'm gonna surprise you with the Western Conference. To make it nice and simple, let's just make it 2 votes to advance. Simple as that. There's 3 of us. No need to debate. If we disagree, we'll save it for next podcast. So it'll be Donovan Mitchell versus Paolo Banchero. There is a size advantage here. Who do we believe wins this?
Paulo.
This is a hot take. I'm not opposed to you picking this. I don't think he's even the best one-on-one player on that team, Donovan Mitchell. So I'm gonna go Paolo.
Well, I got outvoted, so it doesn't even matter. I would petition for Mitchell having a chance here, but the size advantage is a little crazy. So,
If you pick Garland, I'd say Garland wins.
let me actually generate this real quick. So we're going to pick Paolo Banchero to advance. All right, Damian Lillard versus Tyrese Halliburton.
Dame.
I'm taking Dame.
Oh, that's that.
I mean, you guys outruled me. I would have picked T.J. McConnell if he was there. And I'm not even joking, but I'll go Dame.
I don't know if you are.
We're talking. Remember what you guys are saying. You guys are talking about one-on-one. We're not talking about team play. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I also wanted us to pick the higher end players of the team. I didn't want us to pick some random guy on the team because it's a one. The point of the 1v1 tournament is to bring higher ratings to the All-Star game. So, like, I don't think T.J. McConnell is the choice for that. But either way, Jalen Brunson versus Cade Cunningham. I'm taking Brunson.
Brunson.
Beautiful.
He's not even the best one-on-one on his team.
I think Cat is.
Okay. Jason Tatum versus Tyler Hero. I'm taking Tatum.
I'm picking Tatum, but I do think this is closer than we think.
Yeah, me too.
One-on-one
I was about to go with Tyler.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
I'm going Tatum though, because Tatum is also a really good defender.
He's way bigger than Tyler. You can just put him on his back. Yeah, I'm going with Tatum.
All right, so that means we have Paolo Banchero versus Damian Lillard.
Lillard.
I think I'm going Paolo.
I would go Lillard as well. I think Lillard can get going faster.
I think Paolo's too slow.
Yeah, I think he's too slow, and I don't think posting up consistently in one-on-one is exactly
I think it depends who gets the ball first, really, at that point.
I think that could be said for anybody in this entire tournament. But
yeah,
Lillard wins.
If you give the ball to Giannis, I'm going to pick him as the number 1v1. I can tell you right
Who
now.
has a better, but like, real quick, I know we're not debating this, the only thing I'm going to ask. Who has a better chance of guarding who? Paolo guarding Dame or Dame guarding Paolo?
I think it's pretty even.
Yeah, because Paolo can't shoot that well, as we saw earlier. He's not a great shooter, so you need to stop him from getting to the rim, and I think that's the hardest part. But if you can keep him away from the rim, if you can get him to pick up his dribble at any point, I think he loses.
Okay. I'm cool with that. I'm not mad. Dame's a scorer. I'm not mad at that at all. I would have picked Giannis over Dame, but hey.
We got Jalen Brunson. I did think about it. I was trying to avoid too much size. That was my thing. Because I don't think
Giannis would be a one-on-one. His play style's not that way, I don't think.
Yeah, that was another factor, of course. But either way, Jalen Brunson versus Jason Tatum. I got my dog, Jason Tatum.
This is tough, bro. I'm going to be real. This one is tougher than the other ones.
I'm going to make this really untough for you, Tyler. I'm going Jason Tatum.
Good, because I think that you could argue Brunson here very easily.
No, I agree. I think Brunson has all the ability in the world to win.
That one's the toughest one.
If I had to put my money on it, I'm going Tatum.
Yeah, I think Tatum's a better defender on a one-on-one.
And I think his ability to just shoot over the top is just going to be the game.
Too easy. Yeah.
Yeah, if Brunson gets the ball, I don't know if Tatum gets it back, but the same thing for Brunson. I don't think he gets the ball back if Tatum gets it.
I think Tatum is more likely to get the ball back than Brunson. I really do believe that. By comparison is what I mean, basically.
I don't know, because they both take god-awful shots sometimes. Like, god-awful, stupid shots.
That go in.
Yeah, but Jason Tatum's god-awful shots are going to be over a 6-footer. And Brunson's god-awful shots are going to be over a 6'10" guy.
6'10" guy.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to Tatum. You guys won already.
And then for the Eastern Conference 1v1 championship, it's going to be Damian Lillard versus Jason Tatum. I still got Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I got Tatum. Honestly, all jokes aside, us doing this, I would look at Jason Tatum differently if he won that 1v1 in real life. I think we would look at him more as a killer.
I
I don't
already
think
think of
anything
him
would
very
change because
highly,
people view him
so
as
this will not
corny.
change anything for me.
It'll definitely change some stuff for me.
All right, so now let's
People view
move
him as too
on.
corny.
Now let's move on to the Western Conference, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Thunder, the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, Rockets, Warriors, Wolves, and Clippers. And from those teams, I selected Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think that's obvious. Luka Doncic, Jamal Murray, John Morant, Jalen Green, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, and James Harden. Do we have any objections here?
Interesting.
I do think Desmond Bain over John Morant.
Desmond Bain for a 1v1. Remember the grand scheme of this. Remember, we're looking to bring higher ratings to the All-Star game. That's a big factor, too.
Yeah. So I'm coming at this from what I saw in Unrivaled, where this idea came from, and stars were not the ones that were most popular in that. Once it started.
Yeah, once it started, yeah, but like that's a whole different world than NBA. People are gonna want to pay tickets to watch John Morant in a 1v1 tournament.
For real.
Will they though?
100% over Desmond Bain.
Hell yeah,
100%.
We don't get that.
I don't
we
think
don't get that.
I don't think it would matter because who is number 5 again?
Jalen Green.
I think Jalen Green would bring in more people from the Rockets anyway. So I don't think at that 4,
But that has
whoever's
nothing to
there.
do with that has nothing to do with the NBA inviting John Morant. I don't.
No. I'm saying I think whoever's at the 4 because of 4 and 5 matchup, that 4 wouldn't change anything. Whoever is there, whether you have Desmond Bain, Scottie Pippen Jr., whether you have Desmond Bain, I think it fits. And I think Desmond Bain is a better one-on-one player.
No, I don't.
You guys not gonna agree because we don't watch basketball the same way, and I understand. You know, you're starting to turn into the highlight guy, Nas, but
it's a 1v1 tournament. The whole point of it is to bring ratings. So of course, the NBA is going to send a letter to John Morant before they send a letter to Desmond
I get
Bain.
it. I'm outvoted again. It's all right. I'm still
all right. So that puts us at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus James Harden, which I believe is a very close matchup.
Hardest matchup in the.
This is
very tough.
This is
Are they both lefties too?
We're talking about the biggest free throw merchants of their generations.
I'm going Shai. Shai has size, and he's younger.
James Harden is 6'5".
I'm going Shai too. Yeah, I'm going Shai.
No, but
think
Shai
I'm
has
going
a
Shai
longer
too, though.
wingspan, and he's taller.
He's a better defender.
I'm going Shai too, but you gotta admit that's a close one. That's a tough one.
That would be a
That
nice
should be the
game to watch.
championship.
I would pay for
low
that.
key.
Actually,
John Morant versus Jalen Green. I'd put my money on
Jalen
Jalen
Green.
Green here. Shockingly.
yeah, I'm going Green.
His game is made for one-on-ones. That's the issue. It's not made for teams.
That's the issue.
Jamal Murray versus Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry whooping that ass.
Murray. You think?
Steph BTA.
Wow, in a one-on-one?
No, I think it's pretty close. No, I was just kidding, but I think it is pretty close.
I'm going Murray.
I did have Murray on my original mock.
Remember what Murray has done to the Lakers in ISO situations late game. He is not passing that ball out. He is scoring every time. You know it as well as anybody else.
Yeah, I do. No, I did have Murray advancing when I did this by myself earlier today. I think Curry's game is far more team oriented than it is individual one-on-one oriented.
So who'd you pick? 'Cause you said
Jamal
Curry.
Murray.
Oh,
I got Curry.
So unfortunately for Golden State fans, Jamal Murray is advancing. Luka Doncic versus Anthony Edwards, I believe, is also another interesting one.
I'm going Ant, but I think it's close. But I think one-on-one, Ant is better. I think Luka does require a team a little bit more.
Yeah, never mind. I'm gonna go ahead and redact my choice. I'm going Luka.
Yeah, I would also go Luka here. I really would.
Over Ant? Huh.
Yeah, I would go Luka here.
Yeah.
I think his ability to make tough shots is just going to be something very difficult to stop in a one-on-one setting.
That's what Ant does too, though. We've seen it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. That's another good game.
Remember who Ant is. It's not Ant from last year. Ant is now a shooter. Ant is arguably the most efficient shooter in the league right now.
I think Ant is phenomenal. Luka Doncic is literally
Just as great or even
if
greater.
not more. So like,
Yeah.
If we asked
His
this,
shot-
if we went over this in January, I think the response is different because Luka's not a Laker yet. That's all
no,
I'm saying.
even prior
I
to
know
that.
who
Prior
Luka
to that.
Doncic is. Just him being a
Yeah,
Laker has
me
nothing to do
too.
with it. Like, either way,
Yeah.
Shea Gilgeous
Right.
Alexander versus Jalen Green. I'm going with Shea.
Shea.
Sorry, Green. I have to betray you, but it's only for today. I'll be back next
What the
pod.
hell?
Jamal Murray versus Luka Doncic. I am also going Luka Doncic here.
This one I'll go Luka.
Luke.
But there should have been Ant anyway, so.
And then Shea Gilgeous Alexander and Luka Doncic face off for the Western
Ooh.
Conference NBA
Shea.
1v1
I would pay a
championship.
lot of money to see that. I would pay a lot of money to see that.
Same,
I'm
But-
giving
and I
this to
would put
Shea.
all that money on Shea.
Damn. I guess I'm the only Laker
Shea did a
legend here.
great job defending Luka last season in the playoffs. A great job. It just their game plan led to their corners being open every time. And Luka's such a good passer, he found it every time.
Every time.
Yeah. But
And then, ladies and
Luka or
gentlemen,
Shea was holding his own.
We have
Yeah, PJ
the-
Washington looking crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the NBA 1v1 finals. Shea Gilgeous Alexander versus Jason Tatum. Who's taking home the trophy?
Ooh, that's tough.
Wait,
I want
Shea.
I'm going
JT.
Jason Tatum, ladies and gentlemen.
No, this
Man,
one.
Who talked
This
first
one, no
ever?
bias. Shea. You guys are wild.
Jason Tatum, ladies and gentlemen, is the Who Talk NBA 1v1 champion. Yes, sir. Shout out to my dog, Jason Tatum, man. But that's all I have for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I wanted to do it early because I wanted us to have time to debate. But since we did it at the end, unfortunately, we can't just sit here and spend another hour arguing with each other on who's better. But
Real quick,
I think-
Nas, before
Go
you go any further, I just wanted to throw one thing out there. Shout out to Jason Tatum for being the first ever Hoop Talk 1-on-1 tournament winner. Just wanted to throw
shout
that
out
out
to
there.
Jason Tatum for winning an award that will
Not
never truly
unanimous.
exist.
Not
Not
unanimous.
unanimous.
But last thing, shameless plug, and then we'll wrap it up. We have decided to open up our very own gaming channel. Me and Tyler have started it already. Orlando will be joining us in there very soon as well. We're going to have friends, and we're going to have maybe some family members. I have some family members that play the game. Tyler has family members that play the game. Orlando probably has friends and family that play the game. We're going to have a whole bunch of gaming content, so make sure you guys follow that page. A link will be in the description. The Atlanta Gaming Club, ladies and gentlemen. At first, we're just going to be releasing content, reels, shorts, videos, all that stuff for the hell of it, for fun, for entertainment. Me personally would love to be a better gamer as I continue to grow in this and be better at gaming. I'm new to the gaming
I'm
world,
already better.
so I'm not the best. But I would love to be a good gamer because I would love to game competitively. I would love to join tournaments. I would love to go out and play against other people. That would be something that I would find very interesting, and it would fulfill the inner nerd in me. So that would be very fun. So if you guys want to game with us, hop on the sticks. All three of us are on PS5. I did have a Nintendo Switch. I don't know if my daughter lost it or anything, but
I have one
did
too.
have a Nintendo Switch as well. So maybe
thinking about
we
getting
can try
one.
that out too.
Play
But-
Mario Kart.
Mario
link is in the
Party.
description. Link is in the description. Make sure you hit that link. Make sure you go subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you tuned in this far, man, leave a comment. Let us know that you've been here. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Hoop Talk out. Deuces.